What up? This is your boy Doughboy, and this is, I believe, the fourth installment of the Dobriety Files. I hope everybody's doing great out there. I hope your lives and your sober life that you're trying to live is going very, very well for you. I believe in you all. And can you do me a small favor? If you have not already done it, can you please subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, like the video, share the video, comment on it, all that good stuff. It all helps no matter how small you think it is. I want to start off today first with letting y'all know that today I am officially celebrating 22 days consecutive sobriety. Let's clap it up. All that good stuff. Sorry if that was a little bit loud because you guys can see I got the mic, so maybe the claps was a little loud. 22 days sober. And not only am I 22 days sober consecutively, but I am 37 days out of the last 43 days sober. I seen somebody hop in the comments last week and say something to the effect of, stop making excuses. You're only 15 days sober because it was the last video. No, because I also had 15 days sober last month. That still means something to me. And just because I took a 6-day hiatus doesn't mean I'm not going to still give myself credit for that. So I am very, very happy to have 37 out of the last 43 days sober. It's just making me feel like I'm treading in the right direction. The more optimistic thing that I am feeling about hitting 22 days sober is that they say it takes 21 days to make or break a habit. Do I think that I'm 100% out of the uh the woods, so to speak? No. But to do anything 22 days in a row perfect, I am excited about that because I work out, and I'm definitely trying to get to 225 in those 22 days. Did I work out every day? No. Did I eat right every day? No. I just ate some nachos today. Did I follow everything to the T? Right. No. But with alcoholism, I did. So I'm really, really excited about that. And every day I will say this, it is getting easier. It is just, the more days, like I like that metaphorically, this is how I like to speak about alcoholism. Just think of every day that you get a brick, right? I used to do a series called One Brick at a Time, but I stopped it. But let's say you get a brick one day, right? And every day of your sobriety, you put a brick and you're just building a wall. The more bricks that you get, the wall becomes so high, and then you can't even see over it anymore because the wall gets so high. What you don't want to do is relapse and then have to take the whole wall down and all that. But I just feel like every day is just getting a little bit easier. Did I have any difficulties over the last week? Did I have any real cravings? I did. And that actually brings me into my second point, which is it's a tough one to talk about, but it's a very, very necessary thing to talk about. I realized in the last week there was a couple of times that I did like get to the point where I kind of started itching a little bit. My eyes started jumping. If you guys know, those are my telltale signs that I'm, feeling like relapsing. I had like 3 separate incidents. And even today when I was walking my dog, I was like, okay, though, I always look for pockets and areas of improvement. You dig? So I'm always like, okay, I did think about this a couple times. And there was even one time this week where it got so intense that I ended up eating bad. I ended up eating like some fast food and drinking a soda, and everybody knows I'm not supposed to be drinking soda. But basically, in my mind, the number one focus for me, period, is to stay sober from alcohol. So if it comes down to, oh, I'm gonna eat bad or I'm gonna make another decision, I'm always gonna go in the favor of staying sober from alcohol because once I lose that, the rest of life just kind of goes to the left. And so I thought about it. I said, all right, Doe, well, what were you doing when this happened? When you had these flustering moments and you felt like you were about to relapse, what was going on? And I went back and I realized every time I was on the phone, I was on the phone with the same person, kind of having the same argument. And this is what I kind of want to let you guys know when you're dealing with your sobriety. Sometimes you are going to have to cut some people off until you are better. People become triggers for you. Sometimes situations, you can have situational triggers. Like I told you guys, sometimes if I hear ice hit a glass, I feel like, oh, it's time to drink. Sometimes you put me in a comedy club, I'll feel like I want to drink. You know what I'm saying? If you put me in kickbacks or a club at, football, there's different situational triggers, but then there's also personal people triggers. And this could just be anybody. The messed up part about it is that your life matters more to you than it should to anybody else. So I take my sobriety so serious that I feel like if you're stressing me out or you're making me feel a certain type of way that's making me want to drink, I have to have a zero tolerance policy and move you away from me. And I know that that's difficult because sometimes those personal triggers can be your mama, it could be your daddy, it could be your child, it could be your sibling. I don't know who it is. You know what I'm saying? I know who it is in my life. I'm not going to disclose who that person is, but you know, I don't really feel like there's a ton of room because especially when you are in the beginning stages. I would say like once maybe you get 90 days or 120 days and you kind of got routine and you're kind of snapping on all cylinders, then maybe. But to be very, very honest, and I had to even tell, the individual, I had to tell her, I was like, look, you are looking more and more like a trigger to me every day. And I don't want to eliminate you from my life. She knows me well enough to know that I will, though. Hold on. If my camera is any type of, hold on. Is that a little bit better? I didn't know. It was just bothering me. I was like, is my camera on my thing dirty? I hope you guys like the setup and the sound. I'm trying to bring you dope quality. But anyway, back to the lecture at hand. Um, I told her straight up, I said, look, man, you're coming off as a trigger. And every time I get off the phone with you, I'm feeling like I want to drink. And I think that we both know if I feel like that too much, it's probably best that you and I stop talking. And that's just what I want to encourage people, man. Sometimes you're going to have to cut some people off in your life to protect your sobriety. And you're going to have to be okay with that because sobriety can be a life or death thing in certain situations. And you got to think about it. If you know alcohol is ruining your life, alcohol puts you in a place where you don't need to be. And then you have a person that if they're whatever they're saying or doing is making you feel like you need to go back and catch solace in a bottle, let the person go. Seriously, because you are worth it. And that's what I had to really tell myself. I said, you know what? If I really do let this individual frustrate me enough that I just be like, I just got to have a drink. Now I'm right back in the water that I do not know how to swim in, and I'm stuck. And that is not fair because now I got to deal with a whole situation of trying to get sober. And I can't blame the person because it's me. I allowed you to put me in that situation. I allowed myself to react like that. And I have a lot of triggers. I got triggers in my family. There's people in my family I simply can't talk to anymore. Why? Because whatever I'm talking to you, you're making me feel like I want to drink. And I'm sorry if that's selfish, but I feel like getting sober is probably the most selfish thing that you can do, and it should be. Because at the very core of it, it's your life. You get one. You get one of them. You get, as far as I know, because I've never been here, left, came back to my knowledge. You get one life, and you're going to have to do the necessary things to protect your sanity, your mental health, your sobriety. That's because when you're dealing with real alcoholics, everything could go left if you allow it to. So I'm not really here, and I struggled with that. You know what I mean? I really have struggled with that since I've struggled with alcohol. Because there's certain people, sometimes you're in relationships with people or you're doing different things like, or they're a family member or they're just one of your best friends, and life doesn't feel normal without that person. But life don't feel normal being an addict either. And there could be dire consequences to succumbing to your addictions. And that's why I'm really I'm really at a point in my life where I just don't have the time nor the energy for anything that's not positive and pushing me in the right direction. And if I'm not pushing the people around me in the right direction, I'll remove myself from situations with individuals if I feel like I'm becoming a source of pain or discomfort. Because all I ever wanted was anybody that's ever around me or affiliated with me to win. The moment that I feel like my energy, my actions are taking away from you, I'm personally going to be like, hey, I'm a step. The people in my life that do that, sometimes you got to get them out of there, because what are you going to do? And I remember the last time like I had got into it, this individual, I remember just getting off the phone. I remember just being so frustrated because the conversation was just like a looping conversation, and we were both getting upset every time we had the same conversation. But when I get upset and I get stressed out, I be wanting to get some relief. And I have a history of getting relief through alcohol, which is a self-destructive, controlled substance. And I can't do that for nobody. I couldn't do that for Kiara. I love Kiara. Shout out to the picture, my baby girl in the back. I love Kiara. I couldn't do that for her. If Kiara at some point became the trigger, I would have to remove myself from my own child, because as her father, I'm a better dad for her, and I'm more equipped to be the best version of a father if I'm sober. And if she makes me want to drink, I'd have to be like, hey, I gotta, at least for the time being. And I'm not saying that when you separate yourself from people, it has to be permanent. I'm not saying, and I'm not saying that any of these things that I know are proven in schools and stuff. I'm giving you my personal experience. So let me also be very, very clear. I never sit up here and claim to be an expert in this field or a spokesperson for being sober. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I go through. So I'm telling you straight off with my experience being in this fight with alcoholism for as long as I've been. You owe it to yourself. And I'm just so big about protecting my energy, man. I don't just let anybody come to my house. I don't just be around people like that. I think it's kind of cool. And I kind of actually feel blessed to, I'm starting to look for the positives in every situation. Like, yeah, the pandemic sucks, but where I'm blessed in, I'm still able to, survive and make money and different things like that, um, regardless of being in a pandemic. So that's great, because everybody doesn't, have that. But the other thing that I'm way more thankful for is that the world is kind of closed down. So I can't even go out to be tempted to slip up. Like if you're gonna be stuck in the house, if you're an alcoholic, it's like, well, at least there's 30-40% of temptation that I no longer have to deal with. I'm a comedian. If I was still in the clubs right now, would I really be cool being around people drinking while I tell jokes? I don't know. If the club was still open, I just wanted to go have a good time, would I always be able to say no to a club? Would I always be able to say no to going to a sports bar? Like, there's so much temptation in the world that we are, as addicts, shielded from. And the messed up part is, though, there's a lot of healing outside too. There's AA meetings, and there's walking your dog, or different things that you could do outside that we don't get to do as well. So I just try to look for the positives in everything that I'm doing. So yeah, there are a bunch of negatives for addicts when you're stuck in the house, but there's also some positives about being in the house. I thank God that I have an elliptical in my living room, so I can work out. Like, I worked out for 2 hours today on my elliptical, just because I'm just like, I'm so focused on trying to get to my goal weight. Which brings me to my third and my final point. And I really want to drive this home and spend a little bit of time on this. Um, in looking at alcoholism and trying to find the positive in everything that I do and everything that I'm about, I try to look at every situation, and even if it might be negative, I try to be like, well, where can this be a positive? Being an alcoholic, there's a ton of negative things about that, right? There's, okay, you can ruin your life, you can drive drunk, you can go to jail, you can ruin your liver, you can say and do stupid things. It's a myriad of things that are negative that are associated with being an alcoholic. Okay, I get that. But I look at it like this. What if I shift the way that I'm looking at this just a little bit? Just a little bit. What if I looked at being an alcohol and the actual practice that it took to be a successful alcoholic? What if I looked at that like, well, that actually took a lot of effort. It wasn't just something that was easy to do. When I was in the height of my alcoholism, like take it back circa 2016, 2017, it was a lot of work to get a bottle every night, to put myself in an environment where I could drink said bottle, to make sure I had money to buy the bottle, to time out my, I got to start drinking by this time so I can be asleep by this time so I could at least get 4 hours of sleep. Mastering hiding it. There's a lot of things that went into it that you could look at as negative, and of course there are negative things. But what if simply we just shifted it and said, there is something in my mind that once I really like something, I do it all the time by any means necessary. Nobody could tell me nothing when I was in my addiction. Nobody, period. I was going to get a bottle. People could say whatever they wanted to say, however they wanted to say it. I would simply be like, I'm going to get the bottle though. And I made sure that I did it for years. Now, what if we took that same amount of logic and said, well, what if you took that same energy and moved it somewhere positive? Let me tell you what's happened over the last about 12 days, right? I stopped drinking soda because it was affecting my weight loss goals. Even diet soda was starting to just have me gain, massive amounts of weight really quickly. Since I stopped drinking the soda, I could only drink water. I said, that's going to be a rule for 2021. I'm just going to try to just drink water. The other day, I found myself having like a craving for some water because that's all I've been drinking, literally. And literally, I was like, man, some water sounds hella good right now. And I was just like, wait, what? Then I started working out at the top of the year, right? The other day, I didn't feel like working out. And then I missed it. Like my whole day just wasn't the same. I said, man, I got to get a workout. That was actually yesterday. And so then I had to work out because I just didn't feel right. Do you understand where I'm going with this? What if we can get addicted to the right things? Because maybe it's too big of a fix to say, how can I unwire my mind to not have addiction? That's one way you can do it. You can try to do a total, complete overhaul of your mind and the way you process information and the way you act accordingly. Or, and this is me saying this for me, or Tony, you can say, hey, when I get addicted to things, I go all in. What if I can get addicted to drinking water? The same way I was addicted to drinking alcohol. Do y'all hear me out there? What if I could get addicted to asparagus the same way I used to get addicted to fried chicken? What if I season it up or do whatever to it to make it just so fire that I love that now? What if I can turn exercise into an addiction? Now, I'm never saying go hurt yourself. I'm not saying I want to just start working all the time and then somehow harm myself that way. No, I'm saying, of course, within parameters, but just think about that. What if it became that, like when I used to drink, right? I used to drink every day. My hand used to shake at 5 o'clock if I hadn't had a drink. What if I became so used to working out that by 6 o'clock in the day, if I ain't got my 10,000 steps, my body just starts being like, bro, like just starts doing something. Your body only know, like your body, like, you understand? Like all we have to do is train our minds. Like the mind is the biggest thing. Your body just does what you tell it to do. Me doing this, I'm making myself do that, right? My arm just won't do it if I tell it not to. But if I do this, so then why can't we apply that any other place? No, that's not the play. I'm not drinking alcohol anymore. It's bad for the liver, I'm drinking water. And plus, I believe that I'm coming into an age where it's very important to start taking health way more seriously. At 41, it's time to start getting more checkups. It's time to start taking more vitamins, more supplements. You know what I mean? So that's becoming my goal now. Like, I bought the equipment so I can start making beats again. What if I get addicted to just making music like I used to be? Like I used to be to the point where if I wasn't writing a rap a day, I felt weird. So I guess my question is, and my statement actually is, we have the power to control what we become addicted to. It's all about changing our mind. And if you're going to be addicted to something, if you are going to have an addictive personality, why not simply get addicted to the right stuff? It's just a thought, but I genuinely feel like there's a lot of power in that logic of thinking. Because just like when I had a transfer of addiction, the doctors told me, right? Doctors told me before I got my surgery, I was 486 pounds. They told me to go talk to a therapist, this and the third, right? They were like, we need to find out why you are eating so much because, it's a whole thing. And they said, if you don't get this corrected, if we don't find out what the root of the problem is, you'll simply have a transfer of addiction. I had it. So it went from I used to just be able to eat, I used to just eat a pizza, 12 wings, a 2 liter. So I used to eat so much. You don't get to 486 pounds by watching your serving portions. You don't, your serving size or you know what I'm saying? My nickname used to be seconds and thirds because that's what it always was with me. But then when you get the gastric sleeve surgery, your stomach is way smaller. Now I can't eat like that. And then the next thing it went to was alcohol, because whatever I was trying to cope with, I was doing it in different ways, but these ways were hurt me. What if I was just able to say, well, of course, still go and look deep within myself for the answers to find out what the issue is. But in the meantime, until we get all that emotional baggage sorted out, and if I am going to be addicted to something, can I make the things that I'm addicted to things that will help me instead of hurt me? Come on, y'all. Come on. Can I get addicted to something that'll make me better? Can I get addicted to reading? Can I get addicted to praying? Can I get addicted to meditating? Can I get addicted to writing scripts? Can I get addicted to making beats or writing raps? Or can I get addicted to writing the best stand-up special because I'm getting back into stand-up? Can I get addicted to doing push-ups? Can I get addicted to doing sit-ups? Those things ain't gonna hurt me. You see what I'm saying? Why can't we just stop abolishing being addicted and saying just get addicted to the right things? It's not a good look to be a cokehead and be addicted to coke. Get addicted to eating cauliflower. You see what I'm saying? Like, get addicted and why does it seem like it's so easy to give our bodies and minds things in abundance that are negative for us? I can give myself a fifth of Hennessy. I can give myself 20 cheeseburgers in my height when I was eating like that. But when it comes to something good, we limit that. Don't put no extra vegetables on my plate. I don't want none of that water. Water is bland. I don't want to work out. It's tiring. Do you understand that I think our minds are addicted to just things that are easy and pleasurable. Cool. Then let's just change the way we look at the things. When I was on that treadmill today for 2 hours straight, some people were probably on Instagram Live like, he's crazy. No, I'm not. It's just, if I can spend 2 hours just sitting down going through YouTube videos and watching what's on Netflix, why can't I just walk on an elliptical? It ain't like I was just out of breath or just sprinting 100 miles an hour. I was simply just moving. Go walk my dog for 40 minutes. He likes being outside. He's a puppy. I'm getting more steps. So why can't I get addicted to taking him out and just seeing how he explores the world and taking him on different paths? That's just my dog. I look at my dog like my kid, like take him outside. Why can't I get addicted to that? Get addicted to talking to Kiara about college and where she wants to go. I just want to shift it. And that's just the biggest thing. And I think the last thing, I know I said that was the last thing, but the last thing overall that I want to say is don't be afraid to change. You know what I mean? If you're an alcoholic before and you acted a certain way and people hold you to that and people don't believe that you can change and they always think that you're going to be that same old alcoholic or the same old person that drinks and you're going to keep messing up, don't believe that. And don't allow anybody else's opinion of you to affect your opinion of you. What someone else's opinion of you is none of your business. How you think about yourself very much is going to affect your life. And you can change. I am living proof. I want to just share this with you guys before I go, and I'm going to try not to get emotional because I don't like getting emotional in front of people. It's just the whole thing. Okay, I'll try. Last year was so utterly difficult for me because I felt like no one believed in me. I felt like people gave up, like, let's just write him off. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to be able to fix this. Look at him, like he's doing the same thing. And then it's like, if you see me if you love me and you seen me in a situation where I was in peril and I was messed up and you care about me, why would at that point you be like, now it's time, I gotta let him figure that out? That's just like you seeing me surrounded by 15 people. I'm about to get jumped and probably gonna die because I can't fight 15 people. And then your thing is, well, I got nothing to do. I'm gonna just tell y'all the truth of what happened. I'm not gonna say no names of this individual, but this is something that really, really happened to me and it really, really hurt me. Somebody very, very close to me, very, very close to me. One of the top 4 closest people in my life, very, very close to this person. Now, last year when I was, suffering through alcoholism in the worst way. You know what I mean? When I was just going through it, I was drinking every single day and I just really wasn't having the best of times with it. It was like I was fighting alcoholism and just getting hit every other day. It's an erratic thing that I'm saying when I'm drunk. And then plus my paranoia from the bipolar diagnosis, it kind of made me a ticking time bomb. Wasn't good. But in any event, I have a point in there where I kind of have a snap. This wasn't too long ago, a couple months ago. And I had a snap and I was just talking in a way to where I sounded suicidal. I did, and there were a couple times where I did legitimately, have a couple suicidal thoughts, but it was just, I never really acted on it. But I did have the thoughts and I was just like, man, it might be better to, check out of here. And I had said this to someone and I just kind of was like, yo, I can't keep hurting like this. I'm sick of living like this. So the individual that I was talking to took it like I was just sick of living and I was, being suicidal, whatever. So then this individual calls, they do a welfare check on me. Police come out to my house, make sure handcuff me, make sure I'm good. Like I'm not suicide. They're talking to me very, 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 very cool police officers, by the way. And they were very, very understanding to what was going on. I'm like, nah, man, I'm just having a bad time. I'm bipolar. I've been drinking. This isn't the third. So this other individual that I'm speaking about gets wind of this information. Okay. And when this other individual gets wind of this information, me and this individual spoke, and I don't remember because I think I was half drunk at the time, and it was like a real kind of emotional conversation with this individual was kind of yelling and screaming some things like whatever they were saying. I don't remember it all. But then this individual went on to block me. So I couldn't call this individual. And that hurt me so bad because it was just like, even my worst enemies, and I got enemies, I got people I don't like, I got people that don't like me. Even let's just say somebody that I don't like, and let's just say this person doesn't care for me. If somebody that I didn't like called me, or I found out that this individual was suicidal, we can drop whatever issue we got. Hey, I'm coming over. Where you at? I'm pulling up. You good? Cool. So, and this person, and it was a family member. So this person saying that, it was just so, I mean, not saying, but just doing that, they just blocked me. Like I couldn't call this person anymore. So then it was just like, you're so close to me. I'm in a bad situation and then you choose to block me. But I say all that to say, I can't be mad at this individual because if that's what they needed to do, just like I was telling y'all, like sometimes you got to break it off from people. Sometimes people may have to break it off from you. But the reason why that hurt me so bad, because I was just like, it made me feel like this individual stopped believing in me. Like, because if you believe in me, I'm probably going to figure this out. I'm not genuinely suicidal. Like, I'll probably get through this. But when they did that, it just made me feel like they didn't. And that kind of just hurt me and it kind of stuck with me until I just had to come to the conclusion, like, that doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter if this person doesn't believe that you can change or if they don't want to be around you. You still have to change and you still have to be the best version of yourself. And you can't really wrap yourself up in why they did what they did. And who cares? Because if you drink, that affects that person. No way, shape, or form. It only affects you. Going back and forth with alcoholism, like, I'm saying, like sometimes when you do it and you kind of put other people in your head about, oh, well, they did this, so I'm gonna drink. That's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. You're hurting yourself. So then I had to just man up in that moment and just be like, I don't care what anyone thinks. I don't care if everyone leaves. That's fine. I get it. It's a dark, ugly disease. Things happen. I got to still be good for me. And I have to still be able to tell myself, Doe, you got this. Focus on one day. Aside, now, I don't know if y'all heard the record last week. If you haven't heard the record, I would strongly implore all of you, go up. I'll put the link in it in the description. I did a record called One Day at a Time last week, kind of chronologicalizing. Just it's like an anthem for recovering alcohol. It's called One Day at a Time. It's a cool sample from the show One Day at a Time, and I got a little in studio performance. But basically, what I was just saying in that song is there's so much power in just in conquering one day. Think about that. You think so much about things behind you, things in front of you. You never just sit here and just be like this. And you only got to just get better just get a little bit better every day. That's it. So I can't focus. I don't have enough bandwidth in my mind to care about who don't want to be around. if they believe that I can change. It don't matter. What do I believe? That's one thing that somebody said to me the other day too. I said, man, I'm gonna get sober, man. I'm gonna stay sober, man. I'm gonna look up and be 10 years sober, man. I just wish you can believe in me. And the individual said, it doesn't matter if I believe in you. Do you believe in you? It doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter. And that's the thing. Like, and alcoholics have to understand this, or recovering alcoholics have to understand this. Sometimes people just dip. That's a part of this. And you're gonna have to be okay, because at the end of the day, your main objective got to be hitting the pillow dry tonight. And that's my only goal. And if there's no one here, because I had to just start to learn the responsibility of dealing with that by myself. I've been around myself for like the last month, 2 months. I haven't really, like, my daughter's back in Sacramento. Like, I'm living alone. I don't have a ton of friends or people that just come over and check on me. So I've just had to just dig deep and just understand nobody's coming to save you, brother. You gonna have to fight this every single day, regardless. Ain't nobody coming to kick down that door to put a jacket on you and make sure you, no. You got to do this for you every single day. So I fight for the reasons to do that. And how do I do that? I don't worry about the people that don't want to function with me for whatever reason. Look, I try to make my amends. If it don't work, I'm out. I gotta stay focused. I gotta keep my mind here. If somebody's stressful and they're triggered, yo, you gotta watch out. I don't care who you are, because if you're getting in between me and my sobriety, I'm taking that as disrespect. It's like you trying to kill me, because alcoholism, I can't be around you. And just other than that, I'm just focusing on just being happy in the day and just celebrate and just trying to turn my addictions into the right things. I've been working out a lot lately. I've been drinking a lot of water. I've cut out a lot of like the excess sugar. And every day it's not perfect every day. And what I learned is every day comes with its separate set of challenges. So I think I finally understand now the one day at a time mantra, because every day looks different. Like today was one way, but tomorrow's not gonna look anything like that. So I just take it how it goes. And I just look for the reasons to smile, man. But today, in conclusatory, I'm just feeling great about hitting another milestone, man. I just passed the 21 day mark. I'm at 22 days. Every day that I'm sober now, I'm setting a new record for my current sobriety. Because last year, the most that I could string together was 15 days off the sauce. To be on 22 going to my 2-3, man, it's a great feeling. But I don't want to talk about 23 till we get to 23, because I still got about 7 hours left of 22. So now it's like, okay, it's Friday night. I'm going to be binge watching A Million Little Things. That's my new show. I've been watching it on Hulu. I may review it. And y'all should watch it. Called A Million Little Things. It's on Hulu. It's great. So that's why I'm setting my mind up. It's Friday night. I'm gonna let myself have a little bit of snacks. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe a cookie here, a piece of candy there, just a little bit, just to, kind of cure the sweet tooth and just set my night up for the night. I got some reading I want to do. I might set up the board and try to make my first beat, but just keeping myself busy and and staying occupied. I know I was all over the place, but I hope you guys kind of followed me in my ebbs and flows to get there. But yeah, in conclusion, man, I'm just excited. And next week is going to be cool, because next week I will be walking into 29 days sober, and then I'll just be 2 days away from one complete month. And that, listen, the only other time that I had success in being sober is when I went 30 days at a rehab facility, and I came home 30 days later and I was good to go. I ended up going another 909 days after I got out of rehab. So there's something about making it 30 days that is very, very inspiring to me and very exciting to me. So I can't wait to get there, but not to look too far in the future. I'm just focused on the next 6-7 hours, man, just getting through it and making it day by day. Thank you all for supporting this content. Please hop in the comments. Let me know how many days you are sober, and anything you felt about the episode, let me know, man. And any other ideas. I hope you guys like and are starting to see every day I'm trying to make just a little bit better. The mic is now actually plugged in. This quality of sound is a lot better. Okay, I tried to switch the angle to kind of be like, okay, you see my pictures there. Okay, cool. I'm working on getting a new camera so it can be even. So I'm just working to make this experience much better. And just to let you guys know, if you've listened to this entire episode, I also want you guys to know the funny stuff is gonna be on the way too. So just like we are gonna always be trying to get our life, our body, our mind, our spirits right, we're gonna get back to the funny. It just there was a process I had to go through. My mind is sharper than ever. My creativity is starting to feel like come back, and I'm ready to come back with some funny stuff. So let's just say give it a slight release date. Let's just say February. We're gonna start seeing some funny stuff from your boy, Doughboy. I have been Doughboy. It's been another installment of the Dobrati Files. Peace.